You have to see the fingertip.
I do. I see.
Right? So, I have to apologize to all the barbers in advance. I don't want them to be putting bounties out on my head like, yo, yeah, you know the boy from Instagram and YouTube, man, he told everybody don't get a lineup. My business is hurting. Absolutely unnatural. A shape up is absolutely unnatural and begins the process of the receding hairline. So right there, that's why you have 20-year-old young men whose testosterone hasn't even peaked yet with a receding hairline. That doesn't even match. The one thing you hear them talk about LeBron is LeBron keeps getting better and better and better. His conditioning keeps getting better and better and better. 15th season of basketball, he just scored 57 the other night. 57. How does that happen? You have the receding hairline, but your physical condition is getting, see? Because we don't take the time to investigate into the science, that's why my thing was always to push the information. Because information, I mean, we need products too to facilitate the new changes that we're making in our life, but information is more critical than products. Because if you don't know any better, you can't do any better. And then you stuck playing a personality game. You know, you have to go on someone's personality to see if what they're saying is credible, because you don't know. So even if me and someone else have a debate on the subject, if you have no idea about your internal biochemistry and how your body works, how can you make an informed decision on who won the debate? You don't know. So you got to go with what looks better. I don't know. That guy said he's a PhD. He's not a PhD, so I'm going with that guy. He has a white jacket. He has on like a jumpsuit. No, he has gold teeth with them. Right? So, but when you learn the information, how your body functions, then you'll be able to see, oh, wait a minute. Every time I get a shape up, that takes the entire protective layer off my skin. The entire protective layer that's supposed to be on my skin, protecting it from the trillions of bacteria that live on it, is removed. All the water that's supposed to be in there, keeping the skin hydrated, the follicles healthy, it leaves, it evaporates. The yeast and the fungus slip in, right? So we're going to go a little bit deeper. Okay. So it's over exfoliation. Every time you get a shape up, it's over exfoliation. The most gentle shape up you can get is still going to take that top layer of skin off. And that would be with the razor blade only. So I know a lot of brothers, they get the clippers, then the razor blade. It's a wrap. You're killing yourself. Right? So you have a compromised lipid barrier stress on the skin. That's the first protective layer right there under your skin. And these are the progressive symptoms we have. Now the razor bump's a little bit different. Because of our difference in biochemistry, we don't understand that the stuff that we see on the outside has its roots on the inside. So because we have naturally more androgens, if your skin is darker, that means your follicle is like, it's diagonal, set in the skin. That's why the hair comes out kinky like that. So when you get a lineup, it's a lot higher of a chance that your hair is going to dig right into the next follicle, and that's where you get the hair bump or the ingrown hair, same kind of situation. But the rest of this is progressive, how this starts to deteriorate your quote-unquote hairline. Right? So the lipid barrier layer is the stratum corneum protection layer designed to keep moisture in the tissues and limit access of bacteria, virus, typo, and chemicals. Shaving destroys the lipid layer, especially with the use of alcohol-based aftershaves. Every time I got a haircut since time immemorable, it's always been alcohol. So they take the top layer off the skin and then drop alcohol in there. Alcohol not only dehydrates, but what does alcohol help feed? Yeast and fungus, correct. In fact, that's how we make alcohol, even drinking alcohol. right? It's the yeast. We feed them and then they excrete the ethanol that we process. So I've had this conversation where somebody hit me up like, yo bro, you know, I'm on that, what's Puffy's drink?
Right.
Yeah, and I heard it was vegan. Okay. So I have to entertain these conversations. Because technically most of these liquors are vegan because they start with a vegetable, like potatoes, vodka, I think, and some. So if we want to stretch our mind, but that's again because we listen to euphemistic ideas of word definitions and not really understand the definition. So we hear vegan, we think that automatically means it's healthy for us. It does not. It just means no animal products. We hear organic, again, we think that means healthy for us. It does not. It just means little to no pesticide was used on it. That's it. But your body has almost like a 70, 80 mineral deficit daily. So like every day you need about 80 minerals. So if we're not really talking about the mineral content of the vegetables, we can't talk about how healthy it is for you. So even though it may not have any pesticides, it also may not have any minerals. There's only 3 required to grow plants. NPK, nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium. Woo! But you need 80 minerals. So even with all the organics in the world, you're still short like 75, right? So that's another lecture. Anyway, so you kind of understand how this begins to create deep inflammation within the hair follicles, right? And hair relaxers are many times worse. Right? Now, this is a New York thing. Right, that's Pat. This is a New York thing. I had to throw my man up there, but he does represent us all because even as I'm up here delivering, I still have on my snapback. Right? So this is how bad it's got with us New Yorkers. Like we're getting haircuts with the hat still on. So right?
That's serious.
But no. This is another thing though. The hats, like these little issues are things that's compromising our health long term. Your follicles need constant exposure to light and oxygen in order to be healthy. So we keep the hat on. The tightest part of the hat is rubbing right against the hairline all day, every day. So even the holes on the top of the hat is only allowing oxygen to reach the top of the head. And women, y'all are off the chain. Come on. Right? Now, here's the crazy thing with these wigs, right? Because it's only the cheaper ones, which is why I have the price up. Here's the difference in what you're getting. Scalp health with the wig. So when you have the expensive wigs, they're designed to get oxygen to the scalp still. They have openings all throughout the wig. The $14, $30, the Korean special. You are a disposable person. That's how industry sees you, as a disposable person. So they're not even thinking about how this is going to affect your health at all. Now, I was going to put the whole video, but understand that we're doing a vegan brunch and not my normal, because people that watch me online, I do 3, 4, 6 hour, like I will lock the doors and hold you hostage. I will go until your ears is bleeding, like I can't take it anymore. No more Pepsi and cigarettes. But this is Dr. Enqi. And so, this video, Dr. Enqi is explaining, now you see her long, natural locks. She's explaining what actually made her go natural. She was down in the, before she was a doctor, she was a cop. And she was working down in the what was that, the morgue, I think, where they do the autopsies. Yeah. And she was there, and there's always supposed to be a cop down there kind of watching what's going on or whatever the case may be. And she noticed that a woman next to her had, like, the head was off. scalp, the skeleton on top of the head was off. So she noticed it was like these black patches with like holes in the head, the brain. The brain just had like these, like a sponge, with black patches with the sponge. And so she looked and she started seeing a couple of them like that. And so she asked the mortician, hey, like what was this? This must have been, she's a cop. So she's immediately trained to think violence. And she's like, oh, this woman must have been bludgeoned to death. Like this is some serious trauma here. And the mortician just started giggling like, no. All the black women come in like that. That's a relaxer. Yeah, that's what happens with the relaxer. That's not, no, she died from something completely different. Look, let me show you. And start walking around the morgue showing other ethnic groups, because technically we're propping up the relaxer business alone. Everyone else's hair is almost already trimmed, so they don't need the relaxer. Jim, you might have to sit over there next to Tony and become the cameraman. But yeah, so it's exclusive to people that use relaxers, right? So I just wanted y'all to know, like, there's a serious, and it gives you a much higher chance of fibroids, cancer, Alzheimer's, etc., because it is brain damage. And I know just from being a dad, people hear, oh yeah, he has 10 children, but they don't, the folk have 7 daughters. So I know this is how we kind of started this whole natural hair journey, because my moms, and I know y'all may understand this, you know, grandmoms, you just want to slap them sometimes, right? They don't listen. They have zero respect for you and what you're trying to do in your life. Zero. It's like, Mom, listen, now, you know, I really don't let my children go visit you or, you know, your family. That's how we do that. You or your family. Because you know what I do, y'all know what y'all do. We don't mix, we oil and water. But the children want to come to Virginia for the summer. I want them to be able to hang out with their grandma. I want you to see your grandboogers. So, you know, that's a little thing. So, you know. However, no chemicals. What do you mean? I'm not going to be... I said, that's why I'm making it simple for you. No chemicals. If it has a chemical in it, don't put it in them or on them. Just very simple. I want the chemicals in them or on them. So, what does she do? Kitty perm.
Oh, no, we don't have to fight.
Right. It was a good 2-3 year lapse between visits after that. But it kind of went on the back burner because that same summer when they got home was when Amber got hit by the car. So immediately my mind went to that, and then maybe, you know, a year or so later after everybody was, you know, that kind of forgot about that. You know, everybody was back normal. Now she's in school, Tony back in school, everything's regular. Now they got regular little girl issues. Dad, what happened to my hair? Doesn't look like yours anymore. I'm like, yeah, because yours is fried, bro. That's how that goes. That's why a lot of times I always had braids. And one of the things I learned just from having braids and long hair was girls would always say, how come boys' hair grows so fast? And I'm like, yo, there's no difference. There's only one difference between boys and girls. You're chemicaling it up and juicing it up and staying in it and touching it and flipping it and folding it and burning it and pressing it and flattening it and all kinds of crazy stuff. And we don't do any of that. We just put the braids in, grease it that same day that the braids go in, and then we don't touch it again until it's time for the braids to go back in again, weeks later. So it's just a matter of not putting the chemicals in. So even before it was about any of the information on that, I was already not learning that they were just chemicals. It's just, so now I know how the body works. Your body's not designed for this stuff. It just you can't go beyond the design of the body, period, without having a problem. It's just that simple. Right? So now, some people's gonna be like, oh, well, you know, you gotta know how to applicate it. Right? But how how do you applicate something that does this to your flesh safely? Like, how can you do that? And over and over and over and over and over and over again. And when that's not going on, the relaxer, it's the relaxer juices, right? The detanglers. I was like, if you put detangler on my daughter's hair, I'm going to choke you. It doesn't need to detangle. It's tangled. That's how it goes. You have to get comfortable with tangle. Okay? Because you're a tangly person. Okay? So some people are straight people, some people are tangly people. Straight people should be proud of straightness, tangly people should be proud of tangling. Okay? Because otherwise, we're going to have fibroids, tumors, cancers, and you name it. Problems. Okay? So I'm just like, I think maybe people should look at what happens when we don't have the gloves on and we do the relaxer and the lie gets a chance to get right with you up close and personal. Right? So these are the results. Why? How does this happen? Well, as a dad, once again, you know that, well, as a woman, you know, the very first time you get a perm, when you go to the bathroom, it's in your urine. Your urine smells like the relaxer. So even if without science, you can tell that just went all the way through your body, regardless to what the hair person told you. No, I'm going to put the grease on your scalp and it's going to just be right there on the hair and don't worry about it. It's not going to, no. This is a kitty, no. Don't worry about that. No, it's going all through your system. It's impossible to go on the hair and not. When we look at the hair follicle, you're going to see there's a vein that goes to the hair follicle to take nutrients. There's another vein that leads from the follicle to take away waste and whatever else we got going on in there, right? So there's a reason why we're having these issues. Now, wait before you go. This is the most precious part of the mucous membrane.
Thanks.
The internal skin. All right? So you cannot poison any part of the body anywhere without poisoning the entire body everywhere. Now, there is zero investigation because the only people with these lesions are black women and other people of other ethnicities with brain disease. So anytime they're looking at this brain damage, scientifically, it's only investigating Alzheimer's. It's only investigating Lou Gehrig's. It's only investigating MS. It's only investigating dementia. They're not looking at the cosmetic industry. Why? Because it's not regulated. It's buyer beware. See, so that's why, you know, y'all heard Jimmy. I kept saying, now you gotta get this information first. You gotta get this information first, because the information is more important. I can't start working on you, and then there's a difference between being somebody that teaches health information and being a healer. Like right now, I've taken a hiatus off my healing and just doing more teaching. But healing is full time. Like you gotta really, the person's going to the doctor, you're going to the doctor with them. They're crying, you're crying. They're in emergency, you're in emergency. So don't let these people tell you that they know about herbs. Oh yeah, milk this was good for your liver, and then he thinks he's a healer. That's not a healer. Healer is someone who starts with sick people, sticks with the sick person until they're not sick anymore. That's healing. And that takes a toll on your life. So you have to really be good at it because you have to heal yourself every time you're healing somebody else. Right? So and it's time consuming. So you can't be doing like a zillion people. That's why I say you went to Honduras. Because you have to also control outside influences, because as soon as you turn your back on them, Doritos popping, lipstick is popping. Oh no, I'm not wearing the makeup. This is just foundation. Right. So all these things we got to deal with. Awesome. So we're back here. DHT. So we're going to go a little bit deeper into DHT because this is the Phantom of the Opera, right? And the more people look at DHT and regurgitate that it's DHT without really understanding themselves what DHT is, because most people telling you it's DHT for causing your hair to fall out don't even know what DHT is or how it works in your body. or what it's there for, because everything that's in your body has a job, it has a role. You got to think about that. The moment I start blocking this, what else am I stopping from happening? Because it's in there for something. So if I start blocking this, what else is happening? If I start blocking that or adding more, what's going on? Right? So, now here's one of the beautiful things. And if you don't really get into the health, you don't get to see this part. Right? You don't get to see this part. Androgenic alopecia. What's the symptomology? Heart disease, insulin resistance, high PSA numbers, prostate cancer, metabolic syndrome, polycystic ovary syndrome. Those are almost exactly identical with the symptomology for type 2 diabetes.